Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedānta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Punyavadi Pachada Deshakari. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So whole thing is now starting from the previous shloka which we studied yesterday. What does Krishna say? Krishna said something interesting here. He said that for those who are in the renounced order of life, there are no results to suffer or enjoy. And for the person who is not renounced, he is going to take the reaction. Now all of us actually now, this 18th chapter is a summary of the whole Bhagavad Gita. In the 3rd chapter, a lot of discussion has been there, 3rd chapter, 5th chapter, about karma. And the whole science is that how to do activity in which I don't get any reaction. There are different kind of accounts actually. That is called karma, vikarma, akarma. Different ways we can understand this. When you do all of us have some freedom. And when you use the freedom, because we have the body, we have the instruments, and we have some assets bestowed by the Lord. It's everything coming from the Lord. He is a maintainer, a bhushana. Eka Bahunam Vedānta Kaman. He is alone the maintainer of all the living entities. He is the supplier. We are also eternal. Nityo Nityanam. God is also eternal. And God is one, we are in plural. God cannot be two. Chetanas Chetananam. He is conscious, we are also conscious. Chetananam means many. Eko Bahunam Vedānta Kaman. But there is one difference, that Krishna alone maintains all of us. Now Krishna, definitely he is free from all reactions. He is the Supreme Personality. All are his energies only, and his energies cannot affect him. They are rather under his control. Some people say Krishna, when they came to this world, he also got affected by matter energy. No. Krishna remains in his glorious position beyond the effect of matter energy. Just like the sun does not come below the cloud, sun stays above the cloud. It is we who sometimes cannot see the sun because of clouds. We are disturbed because of clouds, not the sun. Sun is position. That's a symbolism. Yeah. To a certain extent we can understand. Symbolism and similarity, there is a difference. Similarity means everything is exactly the same. Symbolism is because something we cannot understand, something which we know, we can explain. God is Adhokshaja. He is personality. He is a person. But he is beyond our perception today. How to explain that? So we use symbolism. So the symbolism here is that the sun is not affected by clouds. But we get affected, we cannot see the sun. Similarly, the Lord's illusory energy, Maya, sun is produced from the energy of the sun only. The clouds are produced by the energy of the sun. Similarly, Maya is Krishna's energy. Mama Maya, Durataya. Krishna said it's my energy. Mama Maya. Devi Gurmayi, we are all affected by this Mahamaya in this world, which is Krishna's energy. But he is not affected. So Krishna comes to this world, one of the meditations of Krishna is that he is free from the influence of completely matter energy. And no way any reaction can happen. Prabhupada gives an example many times, just like sun can purify urinal by sunlight and dry it up. Sun is not affected. But we go near urinal, we get sick. Get affected. So Krishna has a glorious position, completely transcendental. But how can we be in this condition? Just like from Italy, they came on a ship and they shot down to India fishermen, thinking them to be pirates. They're not able to go. Even they got a bail, they cannot leave the country. Their passport is impounded. They will earn 1 crore rupee for getting a bail. They're not in jail now. They're in a house, but they cannot leave the country. See, they got implicated here. So similarly, we also came to this world. If we say, hey, Krishna, I like to come back, but what to do? We are implicated here in this world. Correct? So how to work in such a way in this world that we are not implicated by anything? So first let's understand in a simple way, now in a refined way that it is understood. Simple understanding is very easy. That we have 3 accounts: karma, vikarma, akarma. All are independent accounts. Karma account is when you, whatever resources you have, this body or your dhana, yavana, putra, all your family, your assets, everything is bestowed to me by the Lord. I use them for the pleasure of the Lord. This is called akarma. It has no reaction. And karma, pious activity, means we use it for some good in this world, nice, but it does not accrue to the pleasure of the Lord. Be nice, be very clean, be very polite. Most of the people who are atheists, maximum they can think about is karma. They have no knowledge of akarma. Karma is also dangerous. Why? You have to take birth in this world to get that reaction. It is just like you come to India and some awards you have to get. You cannot go, imagine. And the normal, this symbolism will not stretch, but the point is, both karma and vikarma are implicating. Karma is better, but vikarma means you have to suffer. And karma means you have to enjoy materially. But your problem of birth, death, old age and disease are as it is. You cannot go to Krishna's kingdom unless you develop a desire to serve the Lord. And then you come beyond the mode of material understanding, where the soul, because material world is of material activities, good or bad. Prabhupada gives an example. It's a terse example, but he said just like a stool, the wet side or the dry side, both are horrible. Now you are saying that dry side is better than the wet side. What is this nonsense? Both are nonsense only. It's material. So similarly, most of the people dabble with the material energy in this world. This is good, this is bad. Okay? Most of the people. And their whole analysis, you go anywhere. You go to any social networking site, the discussion, that person was there, he helped him, give him more likes. They will all be like that. Material energy, dull-headed people. They have no understanding of the spiritual domain. Now Krishna is speaking something. He's saying, vikarma definitely we should avoid simple activity. Now the question comes, how can I act in the world in such a way that there is no reaction? Science is occurring. But somebody asked this question many times to Prabhupada, there is no understanding in some religions of karma. In fact, karma, yoga, these words don't exist except in the Vedic literatures. When we sell Bhagavad Gita around the world, we tell people this book talks about karma. Karma, everybody knows about it. Even people talk about it today. But Prabhupada used to say, like America and Europe, so much slaughtering of animals is going on. Punar Mushiko Bhava. Even India is going to see the same fate one day. Same fate. Somehow, by the blessing of the Lord, India started to become a rich country. But today, you see that instead of Punya Bhumi, it is a Papa Bhumi. All kind of simple activities happen. Prabhupada was in America, and Prabhupada said that by the grace of the Lord, you are the richest country in the world today. But today, because you come to such an opulent condition, you have become so proud that you are denying the existence of God. Punar Mushiko Bhava. That day will come, you lose everything. Correct? That example we have said. How a rat, by the blessing of the sage, one day becomes a tiger, and looking at the tiger to eat him. Then the sage said, better you become mouse again. Punar Mushiko Bhava. So we got by the blessing of the Lord an opulent condition. India, we never became opulent, but we are becoming opulent, we thought. But today, there is so much assessment going on. India's story is over. They had a disaster economic result for the last quarter, and no hope things will pick up. Nowhere they can see any hope in any way. So the point here is, people think things are happening individually or internationally independent. Nothing is happening independently. Any situation given to you, you behave responsibly, situation or the freedom or the assets will be increased by the grace of the Lord. Don't forget that. So therefore, now here Krishna said, what did he say? When you do a certain activity, you will not get a reaction. So somebody may say, how do you say so? So Krishna is explaining the 5 factors. What are the 5 factors of analysis? Sankhya. This is called a Sankhya analysis. What is the analysis? The first factor is the body or the place. Just like you want to have a class. What is the first factor? We need a place. Now the pravachana, first is sthana. Number 2, what is the number 2 factor? 5 factors. Number first is we need the place. Number 2, I need the senses. I need mouth to speak. Correct? First, before even the second factor. First, suppose you want to have pravachana. Number 1, we have to have a place. Therefore, we have rented this place wherein we can have a pravachana. What is the number 2 factor? We need people. Some people have to listen and some person has to speak. 2. What is the third factor? I need senses. I need mouth to speak. You need ears to hear. We need this mic to record. To amplify. We need a camera to record. We need a fan to serve you comfortable. So many all these things we are collecting. They're all needed. Then, what is the fourth factor? Even with all this thing, endeavor has to be there. Even though all the things are there, it's like people get opulent condition because of their previous activities, but then they misuse. You have to use the assets provided for the right thing. When you do that, and then the fifth factor is Supreme Lord, who is the final sanctioner. Now what happens is that, try to understand this point, when the Supreme Lord, He has a plan in this world. This creation has not come by an accident. This creation is moving fantastically. Correct? Because there is management by the Lord. It's a creation of Supreme Lord. And it has a purpose. What is the purpose? To rehabilitate and reform the rebellious souls so that they become Sevurmukha. Today we are Bahirmukha. Bahirmukha means Krishna is there, my place is there. Bahirmukha. And I have my own plan. Like Arjuna, in the beginning of battlefield, was thinking about his own plan. And after he heard Krishna, Sevurmukha, yes Krishna, I will fight this war for you. Not for himself. For himself he showed he has no interest for a royal opulence or anything. He was a great personality. But for Krishna's sake, yes Krishna, you want, I do it. That is Sevurmukha. Now when you do an activity for Krishna, there is no reaction. How do we understand this? Prabhupada gives a simple example. Suppose somebody goes to fight for the country, there is a war. Then what happens? Even if he kills hundreds of people, he is given Paramveer, etc. But he comes to the city, kills one person. What happens? He's hanged. Why? Same business, no? No, sir. Not the same business. Why? Because at one time he has acted for the country, one time he has acted on his own. So it's a very intricate philosophy. So all of us are actually having freedom. So when we act based on the freedom, whatever we have, we become responsible for that activity. But when we act for the pleasure of the Lord, using the freedom, then we are not responsible. The activity, the result, everything, responsibility goes to Krishna. Just like in the army, the commander says, shoot, you shoot. 10 people died. You are not responsible. My commander said so. That's how the army people are supposed to behave. So similarly, Krishna said, do it. Arjuna killed so many people in the battlefield. Arjuna was very worried in the beginning of the battle. How so much karma will come? Doesn't matter. Even after the war is over, Yudhishthira Maharaj was worried. My God, so many people are killed just to become a ruler. He cried, he said, I cannot rule. Just like Ashoka after Kalinga, Yudhishthira Maharaj was not ready. Lot of effort had to be spent to convince him to do. He said no. So, very interesting, somebody may say, many people may say this point, that I am not the doer. Many people say, God is making me do all this. And they absolve themselves from their responsibility. But the fact is this, that your responsibility is there. If you are a very pious man which has no addiction, very pure, then your freedom is also more, because mind is not entangled. And somebody is addicted to certain activities, say I am addicted to smoking, then my freedom is very reduced, because thinking, feeling and willing, or the 8 steps given in Bhagavad Gita, Dhyaya Vishya Pamsa Sangha Seshu Vijaya Sangha Sanjayate Kama Kama Krodha Vijaya Krodha Lovati Samva. Whatever stage it has gone into, fall down doesn't happen in 1 second, it happens over a period of time I have cultivated. So it goes to that level suddenly. Just like I am a chain smoker. I just thought about it, I cannot stop now. Because thinking, feeling, willing, action. But still, there is, as much I may be tied and addicted, there is some freedom for me to decide to do or not to do that activity. Animal form, what happens? The senses are so strong, you have no capacity to do or not to do. You have to do. An animal can say, there should be no sinful activity for me. And yes, for an animal, there is no sinful activity. He has no karma. There is no karma, vikarma, nothing. He doesn't have to consider this philosophy, neither he can understand. And neither, if he is getting karma, then he has to understand the philosophy. No. Krishna has to teach him also. He is absolved from any reaction. And there are some people who want to learn by experience. They don't want to learn by hearing. For them, animal form is there. Guaranteed. But somebody says, yes, I learn by hearing. That is human form of life. Human form of life is an opportunity to learn by hearing. An animal goes through experiential learning. Therefore, there are 80 lakh forms before human form, where gradual experiential learning is going on till we come to human form, where you can learn by hearing. So no human being can say, so suppose you want more strength, here. You have that privilege. Don't throw that privilege. You have that privilege to learn by hearing. Prabhupada says this whole Krishna conscious movement has come by hearing. In India, why it could not succeed in India? Nobody heard. Why? They have no faith left in their own culture. They lost faith. Somebody will tell you here Bhagavad Gita, they have no interest. He will rather hear 140 channels of the TV for full day. That is the faith. He is investing faith. This will make me happy. It's not that he is not investing faith. He is investing faith. We have to invest faith. But there, even though he is investing faith, day by day, he is defeated in that. There is no returns for that faith. He knows he is fooling himself, but he gets addicted. And he cannot come out. The same way, Krishna consciousness is also like that. You take to Krishna consciousness, here also you get addicted as you put your faith. Because there are some returns. But these returns are pleasurable. There, just like somebody is addicted to drug, he is killing himself. But here, he is going to live forever. Prabhupada said, a devotee does not die. That death is, he is going to live, not die. Eternally he is going to live. The death of the devotee is like a cat holding a rat. Cat holding a kitten. And death of a karmi is like cat holding a rat. It's a completely different experience. The cat which holds its own child with love and affection. The cats hold the rat. And the rat is fearing for life. So when he was a devotee also dies. His experience is different. He just devotee means he is always in the shelter of the Lord. It is definitely there is something pain, little. But then Prabhupada said it's like a lightning, and then there is a thunder and then lightning. We are in the spiritual world in Krishna's presence. So what happens is that that the devotee, because he acts for the pleasure of the Lord, there is no reaction. The Lord is involved as the fifth factor in every activity. He is the ultimate sanctioner. But sometimes you may say, he sanctioned, because without his sanction nothing can happen. Now let us understand this, some intricacies of karma and vikarma. Number one, Lord provides. You cannot do anything, including your body and assets, God is not providing. And then, without his sanction, you cannot do anything. So he is responsible? No sir, he is not responsible. He is not responsible. Providing has been understood, explained just like the rain. Without the rain, farmer cannot produce anything. But he cannot hold rain responsible if he grows marijuana. Hey, cloud is responsible. Cloud is not. Cloud is giving you resources. You can do what you want with it. Just like all people there in the city, some people study and become good doctors and they are respected in the city. Okay? Doctors or engineers. And some people, they go to the jail. Now, the government is not responsible for that. Government is providing a facility. It is left to you how you choose. It is left to you. Now you are an addict, definitely the force is more for you to drink, but you are not an animal. Still you can stop it if you want. If you want. Prabhupada said just by willpower, any individual can come to Sattva. If he has willpower. Just by willpower, he can come to Sattva. Everybody has the power. Animal can say, I don't have that. No, you are an definitely. And there is no karma power. When animal jumps a red light, he is not arrested. Man jumps a red light. In Mangalore, it is a small town, big towns, you just cross a line itself, where they have a line. Immediately they come and find you because of big tension. You know, thousands of vehicles are there. Mangalore is a small town where we live. Not so much strict they have, but it's like that. But a dog suppose comes running when the red light is there, anybody will punish him? No. So animal is not punished for doing whatever he wants to do, but he has no freedom also. His life is like an EXE file, but experience is there. He is not dead. Some people say animal has no soul because they want to eat it. No sir. Prabhupada said very clearly, always we see he is similar. He is eating, we are eating. He is sleeping, we are sleeping. He is mating, we are mating. Correct? And we are defending, he is defending. Ahara nidra bhaya maithunādu samānahesha pashuvinarāna. So there is same. So why you deny one similarity that there is soul is there? But his condition is that the senses have become so strong, he has no control over it. He is dragged. His condition is that. That is the condition of a animal. So therefore, he is not punished. Even in the Vedic society, a Shudra who is not ready, does not ready to commit himself to principle, is called a Shudra. Shudra is not by birth. He is not punished and sometimes he drinks. That's all okay. He is a Shudra. But if suppose a Brahmana does some activity like that, then it is serious. Because he can control. Okay? So now we try to understand this fact. It's a very intricate fact. So many the ifs and buts are there, maybe I missed some of them, but understand this principle that I have full freedom in the beginning for any activity to do or not to do. Suppose I go and walk by a bar today. I don't drink. So there is no force in me for me to enter the bar. But I have a full freedom which I can misuse and enter the bar today. Let me see what they all do there. And I go and sit down, just have a sip. At that moment, when I have the first sip, I have full freedom. But after I start becoming an addict, I know addiction goes to this level once a week or just in a party with the friends, then it becomes once a week, then it becomes daily, then many times a day. Sometimes we travel in the bus and all, you see daytime also they are drunk and they are smelling, some people. They cannot live without drinking. He has misused his freedom so badly. So he is responsible for that. Okay? Animals, of course, he has no control. He is not responsible for that. But a human being, because he has freedom, which he is misusing, he is responsible for every activity he does, and he becomes punishable when he does the wrong activity. So now, in this world, the problem is that you cannot say, I will just do punya. It is not possible. Number one, even if you do punya in this world, problem of birth, death, old age, disease has not gone. Your problem of material existence is still there. In this world, nobody can be sinless. It is not possible. Can anybody be sinless in this world? Not possible. Suppose you say, I understood this theory now, and I will act doing without. Many people say, I will not do anything bad. No, sir. Even you walk, you kill so many insects. Even you breathe, so many bacteria. How can you say, you cook food, you kill so many living entities? We are causing inconvenience to other living entities. We eat food, we have to kill. We cannot eat sand or stone. Activities are involving other living entities. But if you do those activities, just like Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yagnarte karmano anyatra logo ayam karma bandhanaha. If you do activities of my pleasure, there is no bandhana, otherwise you are bound. Same example of soldier acting for the country. When you cook for the Lord, there is no reaction. Lord takes a reaction. You cook for His pleasure. But that should be there. Cooking for whose pleasure? Don't cheat. Cooking for the Lord's pleasure. Even slightest trace of desire is there, Lord will accept it. Yes, Krishna, please accept. Okay, so please understand in this way. So, when you are acting for the Lord's pleasure, you are saved. Otherwise, in this world, you cannot be purely pious. There are simple activities. In fact, for food also, Krishna says, Munchente sarva yajna. What is the shloka? Yajna sikshasino santo munchente sarva kalvishay. Punjate detu agam papam ye pachanti atma karana. So those people who start from the food. Food is the most important activity. Never have food directly, born by the reaction. You make the food for the Lord's pleasure. Krishna is asking that in Bhagavad Gita, offer to me. Whatever you do, yad karosi, yad asnasi, yad juhosi, whatever you do it for my pleasure. Why does it say so? Yes, just like a finger should act only for the body's pleasure, not independently. Then there is no reaction. Correct? So anyway, finger is just part of the body. The symbolism of the soul is also part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So it should take an indication what the Supreme Lord wants and act. Then how do you know what the Lord wants? Through Guru Sadhu Shastra. You get a desire, I want to do this for the Lord. Check through the Shastra, check through the Acharya, check through the Sadhus, whether this is what the Lord wants. Then do it. Because there the Lord's will is revealed. At this moment, we have no capacity to directly know the Lord's will. Like Arjuna did not want to fight the war. Krishna explained so much philosophy. But the main thing Krishna understood, Arjuna understood, what is Krishna's will? What does Krishna want? If you do what Krishna wants, then there is no reaction. But how do you know? Arjuna could directly ask Krishna. We have to ask Krishna's representative, Acharya. Or then just like we read from Prabhupada's purpose, there also a great saint is speaking. You come to know Krishna's will. Take it. Srila Prabhupada ki, Bhagavad Gita ki.